Hey Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. This is Flosstube, I think 34 or 35. I don't remember, but it'll be on my description line. Let's see, I've been on vacation for 2 weeks. Today, this is the last day of vacation, and I have spent quite a bit of time at home, which has been really relaxing, really nice. I went down to Acorns and Threads to the first Thursday stitch meetup one day. And let's see, the second week I went to Lori Textilist's house, that she has a retreat house where she's going to retire when she retires and host retreats. It was a quilting retreat. So I met wonderful ladies and just had a great time all week. I did a lot of stitching while I was there, and I cut out a lot of project bags that I intend to sell in the future. So, gosh, let me just talk about a couple things. One is a finish, an FFO that I have, and this is the fully finished project for my niece for the Sabrina, which is a bridal conversion. I love her. She turned out magnificent. This is a one-of-a-kind fabric that it's stitched on by Fantasy Dyed Fabrics, Joanna World. She has a Facebook page. I'll try and find it and link it below. This is an off-the-rack standard size frame. And then I had Craft Warehouse, the place where I have framing done often. It's a regional craft place. They did the framing for me. So that was exciting, and I haven't decided if I'm going to enter her in the fair. I might. My poor niece, though, she got married 2 years ago, so I'm a little bit late on that one. And then I have a finish, a Stitch 9's Challenge finish. This is Snooty Parrots by Barbara Anna Designs. Dun, da, da. Another Stitch 9 Challenge finish. This is stitched on 46 count, I believe it's Lakeside Vintage Exemplar, light exemplar. And the colors on this are amazing. If you look at, I have a little bit of a shadow on the part of this, but and it's personalized. All the initials are my husband's, mine, and our 4 children. So I was excited to get another Stitch 9 done. And I have 2 more. One is a Nora Corbett Pink Snowy Cottage that I started for Laura from the Dicted Sisters, her birthday. Or was it Laura's? I think it was Laura's. And then the other one is a Blackbird Designs Christmas Garden. So I saved those for July so that I could work on some of the Christmas sales that are going on. I think it is Diana from It Is Kismet on Flosstube. She has something called Christmas. I think it's Christmas in July sale or Christmas sale. I'll join that. And then my last Stitch 9 that I have besides those 2 is a Paula Vaughn that won't take too long to do. I think that I can get that done in about a week or 2. So the end is near. And I do have my next Stitch 9 lined up. So when I finish this has been so motivating, and it's been hard not to start things. I have a chatelaine that I wanted to start this year. I have several other kits and projects that I want to start as well, but I'm trying to just really be good about getting the Stitch 9 done this year and then starting on my next 9. And it'll make a significant dent in the whips that I have, the number of whips. So I'm excited. Let's see. So let's talk about a little bit of haul. I went to Acorns and Threads, and Janine from Acorns and Threads has a club that you can belong to if you go to the open house. You have to go to the open house, and I'm not sure if she's going to do it next year, but it has a coupon for each month, and this was a fabric month. So I picked up some fabric, And this is, and I'm a Lakeside girl, and I feel fortunate that Janine seems to be able to get Lakeside. So this is vintage autumn gold, and this is a double dye. So that's a pretty true picture there. This is gorgeous fabric. It's pretty dark. It's a little richer than Picture This Plus Ale. It's a little more golden too, but I love this one. I got a fat half. And that's 40 count. And then I also picked up a couple of quarter yard cuts of, oh, there's another project I want to show you. This is 40 count vintage pecan butter. This is really pretty. A little bit lighter than the, much lighter than vintage autumn gold. I have 2 cuts of that, not the same. And then I have a half, this is becoming one of my very favorite. This is Vintage Exemplar, Lakeside Vintage Exemplar. And it seems to look the same maybe on your end, but it's definitely not. This one is a little bit warmer than the Vintage Pecan Butter. And it's warmer and more mottled. And then I went this direction, which is Vintage Cedar Plank. Beautiful gray, mottled gray. And this also is a half yard cut. So I'm going to be set for a while. And this is all 40 count, except my last one. My last one is 30 count Weeks Cocoa. Cocoa butter, cocoa, there's cocoa. 32 count. So this is interesting because this also has a vintage look to it. It's warmer in person, much warmer, much browner than what you're seeing. And there's an undertone of gray or black with it without modeling. I'm not sure how they achieve it, but it's a different process. And I thought it was really interesting. It's a beautiful color. It's more in keeping with the vintage Exemplar. Trying to see if you can see the, yeah, it has like an undertone of gray or black. That's it for fabric. I did pick up, I finished this series, so I had some of these, but I didn't have all of them, so I picked up the rest. And you never know with Blackbird Design how long they're going to stay in print. So I went ahead and filled that out. I intend to stitch these not all in one, but I also plan to color convert. I love the designs and they did a nice job. Barb and Alma always have a way with colors that I like, but I didn't want 9 of them to be all the same color palette. Although I've seen it stitched in groupings and it's really pretty, I just wanted to change it so that there's a variety of colors. So that's my plan for that. And I'm going to blame this on my girl, Michelle Rudy. She showed this from Stitch Camp at Sampler Green. This is a Blackbird Designs. It's not yet released. They had some extras at Country Sampler, so I called right away. They had a limited number, so it could be that they're sold out. And this is stitched on 36 count Velt with Weeks Dye Works colors. And yeah, this is stunning. Stunning color palette. This is just so Blackbird though. Such a Blackbird color palette. And you can see a little bit more of the Velt. I thought Velt was more green coverage, but it's definitely mottled with green. And there's a fair amount of a tan, and you see it's almost a peachy color. There's some darker spots too. So this is the one I'm struggling with not starting right away. And you never know, I might start it. And I also belong to Dying to Stitch, their clubs, and I received this pattern, Pineberry Lane, and it's a sewing roll. This is so cute. Look at this. And she has, it's a Christmas one, and she has candles. She has like a wreath with candles going. You can imagine what happens when that burns down. But beautifully packaged. It has the wool and the fabrics to finish it. They do a really, really nice job with their kits. And if you're on the fence and you think you might want to join one of their clubs, when they open up in January, I would take a look at what they've posted for the releases this year and decide which club, if not more than one, that you might want to join. All right, so when I was at Lori's, we went to the sisters. Well, she calls it Quilt Week, Lori does, at her house. And it is Quilt Week because the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show is the second Saturday in July. It is the biggest outdoor quilt show in the country. It's in the Bend/Sisters area of Oregon, which is Central Oregon on the east side of the Cascade Mountains, at the base of Mount Bachelor, the Three Sisters, Three Finger Jack. There are some white-capped mountains in that area. A lot of skiing, outdoor activities, hiking, kayaking, whitewater rafting. It's an outdoors person's mecca. And Lori's house sits on the rim of a canyon. And it was so much fun to just go and hang out. In the morning, we would drink coffee out on the deck, or in the evening. And I'll see if I can insert a couple pictures right here. So I'm hanging out in the back deck of Lori Textilist's retreat house. I'm here for a quilt retreat with a bunch of lovely ladies. And you can see the canyon down below. You can't see the creek, but there is a creek down there. And you can see the bench where you can sit and look, but you really cannot have any wine and sit there. And she has some beautiful lavender bushes. And she's on the rim of the canyon. Sometimes there's a lot of birds and wildlife around here, so it's a pretty fantastic place. As you can see, it's such a nice setting. Inside, there are a lot of sewing machines going, or just general discussion. One day, we went into town and went to the Stitchin' Post, which is a local quilt store. I picked up a jelly roll to make a jelly roll rug. And if you aren't sure what that is, look it up on the internet and it'll show you. It's basically, you take these strips and you put it's a batting in the inside, or a cording. I'd have to take a look at it. You sew it in one continuous seam, and then you sew those together, and then you sew them into a big oval or a round or whatever figure you want. So I got that. And then I found this towel. And this is by Betsy Olmsted. And so this is a tea towel, just a regular towel. But I love the artwork on this. And what I plan to do is to cut it down to about here into a square, and take embroidery thread and just embellish in this tree. It's sort of a Christmas theme, but not necessarily. And I'll use the green in here. And look at these toadstools, you guys. Aren't those not just adorable? And so what I plan to do is make a just a round robin quilt. So I bought some Tula Pink, a jelly roll of that. And this is the one that's just came out. I think it's Free Spirit is her line. And you can see the colors in there. And it's going to be magnificent with this. So I haven't built the design yet, but it'll include this. And it will include some cherry, what is this called? Cherry wood. This is a hand-dyed fabric, and you can see the colors in that to balance the prints in here. And then I went back and I picked up some more yardage of Tula Pink fabric. So let me just show you. This stuff is the best. I love it. She's so creative. Look at that butterfly. It looks like an owl, right? And then this, I can't remember what is on this one. I think this is like a manta ray, maybe right here, pattern. And then, y'all, unicorns. I got it in this colorway, and I picked it up in this colorway. Where's the unicorn? Oh, she's this way. And this colorway, because honestly, when you cut this up, you are not going to see the unicorns. If I decide to cut it, you know, up as to insert it in the quilt. And then the last one is the same, the butterflies in the green and turquoise color. So much fun. I would say that's, you know, it's kind of funny. I think I stitch Nora Corbett, I stitch Mirabilias, I stitch samplers, but I stitch a variety of things, and I quilt a variety of things. So I like prim colorways, but I also like bright colorways. So sometimes my house decor is confusing, but I don't care. I just do what I like. And let's see, I think, oh, I have one more thing to show you. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to run and get what I was looking for, and then I had to find it. Let me see if are you guys looking at me slanted? Now you are. So, I worked when I was at Lori's house on starting the reproduction for Elizabeth Ogden, 1858. And the software was different, so I had to figure that out, and I was really appreciative because Lori helped me quite a bit. I charted it the first night I was there. I did this corner, this corner, and I worked my way up this side. I had charted all of this, and then we figured out the next day it wasn't there. I had lost it because the default save on my program was an online save, and I wasn't connected to the internet. So I had a chance to start over again, which is okay because I changed my strategy on charting anyway. But here's the start of my of Elizabeth Ogden, 1858, and you can see this is so much. I love this. This is stitched on vintage exemplar. I'm sorry, the lighting is just not very good right now. It's late in the day, so that's my fault for getting started late. But here's the colors. These are Gloriana silks. I am going to chart this in DMC and overdyes also. So if you want to do the full Marianne and do silks, you can. But if you want to stitch on something that's maybe in your budget, more in your budget, then the options will be there. One last thing I thought about is that on Saturday, the day of the quilt show, I actually had a commitment Friday night up in Olympia. So Lori's house is in Central Oregon, and I had to leave before the actual quilt show started. The quilt show is amazing, so if you get a chance to go sometime, I hope you can. It's awesome. I had to leave Friday night because another friend of mine and I went to see Queen with Adam Lambert. And it was amazing. We had floor seats. One of my friend was able to get the tickets, and I've never sat on the floor. And so the stage is here, and then the runway comes out, and we were not that far from the runway. So we saw Brian May came out and did some solos on the guitar. It's so funny to see these old guys, though. He walked out, and I was afraid he was going to fall off the stage, but he can still wail on the guitar. And then the fellow who's on the drums, I can't remember his name. But he was hammering on the drums too. So it was fun. Adam Lambert, so charismatic. And he was respectful, and in that he was reminiscent of Freddie Mercury, but he didn't try to be Freddie Mercury. He tried to be Adam Lambert. He was great. So it's been an awesome vacation. I have things in the works. I have some other designs in the works. Oh, by the way, I did a thing. I got my business license, and it's for designing cross stitch patterns. It's called Kindred Stitcher Designs. So stay tuned. The reproduction will be the first big one that comes out, but I have some other small stuff that's in the works too. So I just thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching my channel, and I will hopefully get a video done in a couple weeks. I've got a wedding at the end of the month to go to, but we'll see how things go. It was great seeing you all. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.